Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
All right. Got me an old man in this chair right now, though, making noises while I'm sitting down, grunting and whatnot.
My shirt ain't tight no more. Let's go, baby.
That's how you know the show is starting when you start popping with the jokes earlier. Yo, listen, as usual, positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. It's your boy RJD, the Perfect Gentleman, and welcome to another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast with my main man,
Jose, the imperfect husband.
Facts, on point and on cue. Listen, we are stepping it up. We are stepping it up out here in these games, man. But as always out here in this podcast street, you know that if you've been with us for a while, you know. But if you don't, you about to find out right now. We are the imperfect fathers, but we know that we must talk to the perfect father before we get anything started because we need his blessings. So with that being said, right?
That is right.
Gracious and eternal Father, we thank you for another day. Thank you for another hour, another second, another week to come before you and your people just to spare a moment of excellent conversation. We're thankful for our life, our health, our strength. We're thankful for everything we have in our lives, God. Right now, we actually look over us as we go across the airwaves, that we may say something to be a vessel of a blessing to someone out there that's going to help a man be a better version of himself, for his family, his children, his legacy to come. So these things we do ask in the matchless name of the Most High. Amen.
Amen.
Indeed, my man. Whew. So we had a little hiatus because life been life, and man. So how you been?
Life been life, and I've been doing good. How about you, man? How's everything going with you, brother?
Man, the blessings of the Lord are rich, man. So
amen to that.
Out of no sorrow, man. I've learned that the things that happen, they might hurt while they're happening, but if you take the time to actually look and see what's going on, like for the big picture of it all, you'll realize, like, yeah, it hurt, but it was necessary.
Right.
A lot of things this week for myself personally, I realized like it was necessary that those things happen because I got a different outlook on life. You know what I'm saying? This past week, I had a phone call that not too many people want to get. You know what I'm saying? A family member of mine who had cancer for a while left us.
Oh, wow.
So it was something we all knew was going to happen at a certain point.
That.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can say about it is like it was something of expectance, but it was peaceful. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. We weren't heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? We've had losses in the family where it was like we was devastated, but this was more so of the easier ones where it was like, all right, we prepared for you to go. We spoken, and this is one of the ones that hurt, but at peace, knowing that he left in peace. You know what I'm saying? He left in a space where he felt like he was at peace with God. He knew what was going on. He was conscious enough, but just he couldn't defeat that battle with cancer.
Was he prepared?
Absolutely. He felt like he was ready to go. He said it more than once.
That's really what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
How prepared they are mentally.
Bro. And
like situation, because not everybody's prepared to find themselves in that type of situation.
Where you know you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Like that's something, man.
It's a different type of shock though.
To know you're going, like to know that, like we all know we're going, right?
Definitely.
We all understand.
But to know that there's a time frame on it now.
Because we have these cliches, right? Like life is short and all this, but we don't really look at it until someone close to us.
That hits different.
Yeah,
it's different at that point.
And then like even not so much close to us, because I remember when Kobe passed away. Shout out to Kobe, man. That was so abrupt. You know what I'm saying? It was so unexpected, and it was like that was a reality check for me. I don't know about anybody else. For me, it was like, what am I doing with my time? That man didn't think about that was gonna be his last day.
Yeah.
And he operated at a high level in life. He executed on his goals. He went after things, his dreams. So he didn't have time to games or time for games or time to play.
I don't think anybody knows that their last day is going to be their last day. Even those that attempt to take their own life. Mm-hmm. Those that have survived that situation end up saying that their last thought was, why did I do this?
Yeah. Why?
I should have never done this.
Right.
But at that point, it's too late.
Like that's that life is so fragile, bro. Like the older you get, and me and my homie were just talking about this, that the older you get, the more people you start seeing leaving you, the more precious life becomes to be to you.
It's the opposite of when you were young, right? When you were a
Yeah.
kid, you see a whole bunch of kids being born. Oh, a new cousin. Oh, a new brother.
That's
oh, a new
it.
sister. Oh, a new cousin.
Every week seemed like
and then you get older, and it's
every time.
X passed away, and
Yo,
you get the phone calls. X passed away, and X passed away.
I'm tired of saying my condolences on Facebook, bro.
It gets
like almost every week.
It becomes real, bro. Life becomes real. Life starts lifing at that point. Life starts lifing
That's
at
a
that
whole
point.
fact. That's a whole fact, man.
And you start really valuing what's worth it and what's real in your life, right? You start appreciating those that give you that minute a day.
Man,
at that point.
That and everything that you thought you didn't even think of when you were younger. You didn't even think of it. Now you hold it as so much higher regard. It's at
it's important.
It's at the highest regard you have, right?
It's the top of your priority list.
Swear, because
that
now
is absolute.
My mother, I called her even today. She was like, "What's up?" And I didn't have anything to talk to her about when I called her. It was like, I just wanted to hear your voice, girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I simply just wanted to hear your voice, because like it's ticking in the back of my mind. Like, it's gonna come a day where I'm gonna pick this phone up, and she's not gonna answer it.
Yeah,
it's
brother.
not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So it's sobering, bro. Because shout out to my man. It's slipping my mind right now. His name. Anyway, one of my guys.
Brain fart.
Yeah, definitely brain fart right now. One of the guys that actually started on this panel in 2020, I had a Men's Day, Father's Day panel that actually started the podcast off. And he was one of the dudes that was on the podcast. So right now, his name is slipping my mind right now. And please forgive me, holds it to my head, not to my heart. And he married my god sister. So I can't. It's killing me. I don't know his name. But anyway, I went on Facebook, bro.
It's the bud.
Facts.
Those brain cells is burnt.
Listen, a lot of them. Hey, listen, and you know me, I'm gonna continue to burn them. But I opened Facebook, bro, this week, and I realized that he had lost his mom's. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, ooh, it was one of those things where I didn't know his loss, but I know at some point I am. So I felt it in a certain way. And then to look up and realize that his wife, which is my god sister, she lost her grandmother that I knew very well. She basically raised me as a child, like one of the older mothers in the church. Shout out to her, Mother Cherry. She passed away. So when I saw that, I was just like, man, under the household, they just lost two people that meant the most to them. And I'm thinking about in a household structure, they got children. And you know what happens when you have things going on internally and the things that happen to you and your kids, they're not privy to it. They're not old enough to understand. Yeah. Their life continues to go on, but you have to be that daddy to them while you mourn, and you have to deal with what you have to deal with. And I just thought to myself, the heavy weight that's on the both of them right now, bro, I just called out and I was like, bro, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you, because I just know in my head, like, he's struggling with the loss of his mother. And normally when we as men struggle with losses of our parents of sort, we lean on our wives.
Yeah.
And for her to lose her grandmother 3 days later, it's like, where does he lean to? Where does she lean to? They got to go together, right? They got to come together and hold each other up. But it's like that has to be heavy and still be parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, think about that, right? Like as a husband and father, how do we deal with these situations, right? How do we the type of burden that's mounted on us with this, right? Because we attempt to be strong. We attempt to be strong for our significant other, for our kids. Mm-hmm. We try to hold this cross and carry it so that everyone around us feels that support and feels that they're not alone. But during that process, we shell our emotions.
Oh, yeah.
We hide our emotions.
Yeah.
We hide how we feel, and we bottle it, we
Right.
cap it,
Right.
and little by little we keep adding on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Then the reaction comes.
Yeah.
When that bottle pops.
Yeah. And it's something that we don't have to get to, bro. We don't have to get to that pop. And honestly, God, I think the thing about us thinking we have to be strong is what's killing us.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to be.
Makes sense.
We don't have to be. Like, so put it like this. A friend of mine, and this is crazy how things is happening today. Got another phone call before I came in the studio. His sister just found out that she has the heart of an 87-year-old.
Oh, Lord.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And they gave her a timeline if she doesn't get another heart. They're going to put her on the transplant list. And it's hitting home because another one of my good people, one of my friends and people that I'm so embedded with, that I'm family with. Because as you can see, like, if I rock with you, I rock with you.
Yeah.
So his mom is in the hospital. His sister's now in the hospital. He already lost his brother and his father. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, life is so fragile and things are happening at a crazy pace. And he says to me while he's on the phone, he was like, yo, I don't know how to be strong for them anymore. And then, like, I don't show up because I don't want them to see me break down. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why do you feel like you got to be strong so they don't see you break down? I need to know the psychology behind that. Why? He said, because my father didn't show it.
And what we need to understand is that us as husbands and fathers, we need to understand that emptiness,
Mm-hmm.
that cross that we carry it alone, truthfully, because we want to.
Facts. Yeah.
And let me explain on that, right? Because this is where I feel the strongest about. If you don't seek the love of God to help you with that cross
Mm-hmm.
and fill that emptiness that you have, then you're in a lot of trouble. Yeah. Why? Because you don't know what God's love is until he grabs that cross off your back. Once he lifts that burden that's holding you down off your back, that's when you start understanding, wow, God is great.
Mm-hmm.
God is might.
Word.
He does love me, as he says.
Word.
As we've read, as we've heard.
Right. That's a fact, bro. It's not until you feel the release that you understand his power, right? Like, that you can realize, oh, you got that kind of power?
You once said that the weakest you've seen, the strongest men you've seen, has been with their hands up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I say the same, but I've seen them on their knees with their hands up. Because that's when you know that person is seeking.
It's a powerful posture, number one.
The most powerful.
The most powerful posture.
The most powerful. Because for you to be a strong man of strong character and strong will, and to drop on your knees and allow everything, become that vulnerable.
Yeah. It's a whole other world.
Only one person, only one thing can make you do that.
Yeah. And like I said in the good book, every knee will bow.
Every knee will bow. Every Jordan fact. Will crease.
That's a fact. Every
to
uptown.
Put it in today's terms.
Every uptown.
Every J will
fact.
crease.
That's a whole fact. You will bend.
Because until your J's ain't creased, you ain't preaching.
Nah, no.
You ain't asking.
Nah.
You ain't bowing hard enough.
And you ain't tapping in. Like, to be honest, like, people like, and like, I'll get this question regularly. Because if you've been following my journey, I've been on the internet now since 2018, and just like, my brand is built on vulnerability. People, if you follow me, you've seen me cry, you see me laugh, you see me all through the emotions, because that's how I let you know it's real with me. Like, I'm not gonna just show you when I'm happy. I'm gonna show you it all. And the one thing that I've seen throughout my journey of just showing it is, like, people appreciate when you are vulnerable, because it gives them a lane to be that as well. And when I tap in, and people ask me all the time, yo, how do you seem to get through your situation and circumstance and bounce back? It's only because when I'm bounced out, I get out on my knees. When I don't have nothing else left, I ask God to give it to me. And none of this is my will. None of this is my own doing. Like a man asked me earlier today, he's like, yo, how do you keep pushing through when you feel like life is on you and you can't make it? I said, yo, the Bible says when you've done all you can to do, to stand, just stand. Like we try to do all these things in our own power, and it's like, yo, all you gotta do is just stand up. Just stand up.
And that's one of the ways for you to provide as being a father of your household.
Facts.
Being a husband is being able to bring that strength with the power of God through prayer.
Bro, I think that's one of the biggest things that we don't realize as fathers. One of the main things we should be doing and providing is that spiritual covering.
When a family that prays together stays together.
Facts. Every trip. Yo, and it's crazy because I was convicted a little this past week in my spirit, because I was like, yo, what does a father provide? Right? Like, what is he providing? And I sat down and I was going through some videos and I was doing my prayer meditation, and I came across a Miles Monroe video, and then like I began to hear him speak about how a father just doesn't only just provide physical and tangible things. He's a spiritual hedge around the family, and that began to like put me into a space. It's like, yo, have I prayed enough over my family? Have I taken the time to actually do the spiritual work that it takes to provide for my family spiritually? Have I seeked the Father's face enough for my family? Am I reading enough of the Bible to be able to give them the word that I receive in my spirit? Have I done enough? And that's where I was like, oh no, like we're so worried about providing financially and providing protection, which we do well and wonderfully, but are we giving that same energy when it comes down to our spiritual?
I remember being a kid, and my grandmother, at a certain time during the night, she would start praying the rosary.
Yeah.
She would start praying the rosary, and it becomes repetition, the whole Our Father and the Holy Marys, and they go through the rosary and the 10 steps. Being a kid, I was, oh, God, this thing again. Oh, I want to watch TV.
All you do is this thing, Grandma.
Bro, look, I get goosebumps, bro. Not too long ago, I was, a few months ago, I was in my mother's house. I was over there visiting her in Dominican Republic. And she has grown the same custom of my grandmother, where she prays the rosary every night. And my father joins. But usually it's been my mother, my grandmother, and my father is the one to join. Or our father's father or grandfather. They're the ones to join. It's usually the mother taking care of it and pushing the rosary forward, right? And me hearing her do that, it was such a great appreciation to know that when I asked for her blessing as my mother, not only does she give it to me in her sense during that time, but during her rosary, she's also praying for us. And this is daily. And it makes so much sense as to why we feel accompanied throughout life.
Right. That's a very, I think that's one of the most powerful facts there is. We don't understand that the prayers of the righteous really do avail of much, right? We don't understand that where it was our own good, right? Where we thought it was our own justice or our own, whatever we thought we had that got us through. Then we had grandmothers that seek God's face regularly for us.
Yep.
And that right there was the protecting hedge, because if I look back over my life and I begin to think of the situation and circumstances that I found myself into, now I found myself and I put myself in, or others that happened to stumble in. But either way, I'm still sitting here right now. And none of it was because of my grace, bro. None of it because I was in my own face.
We've done some crazy shit.
I'm glad there was no cameras around. You heard me? I'm glad we that age. Where there was no cameras around.
Listen here, and the reality is that
Word.
It is that grandmother's prayer.
Grandma's prayer. I remember,
God, hold them in your hands, God. He's yours, God.
Yo.
Don't let that happen, God.
I remember
Take
walking
care
out
of
the
him,
house
God.
at night. Like, so when I was starting really feeling myself 18, 19, I'm in the street. So, on the island, in order for us to come party in the city, we had to come through Queens. So I'm like, yo, listen, I'm always stopping at my grandmother's house, no matter what time of night it is. I could be pissy drunk. I could be like, it didn't matter what I was. I'm pulling up on grandmother.
You'll never tell your mother or your father.
Listen, because she already knew it was worse from her anyway. It was worse. So I pull up on her, and I'll never forget when I would leave out the house at like the weirdest hours, or I'd be drunk or something, and she'd be like, "Yo, Lord, he's yours," and I would walk out. Hello, girl. I mean, fine, girl. That's how I would tell her, but not knowing that, like, she knew. Lord, you hold him down because he's a fool. You protect babies and fools, so protect that one. Because he's a baby and a fool.
That is a fact, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to grandma's prayers, man. And what I didn't realize either, too, that all the things that we thought were just ritual kept us.
Yeah.
You understand? Like those things that we thought that were just, because honestly, in my mind growing up, we had so many things that we just did just because. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to church every Sunday. That's what you do. I didn't even know there were other things in the world other to do than church on Sunday until I got older. And I was like, y'all are doing this during the day?
Wear your best clothes Sunday morning. You shower, wear your best clothes, and go to church.
Yeah, and you better be out of the house by 9:30 because you got to be to church by 10 because Sunday school starts at 10:15. And you got to be in Sunday school. After Sunday school, you had the first service at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock service was rocked out. They went through until about 3 o'clock. The black churches, we drag it out. They want to shout, dance, and go wild crazy. So we partied down to about 3 o'clock, and then we have the in-between. We already know we got to bust the chicken down. We got to have the fish fries, you dig what I'm saying? The mac and cheese and the mashed potatoes and all that. You already know. So, and then after that, you have the evening service where only the people who didn't go to the morning service, or either the people who need a double dose of God, that better to do.
You better double down.
Listen, that's better to do on Sunday. Tag on. They'd be there too. And then we wouldn't leave church, because I was a musician. We wouldn't leave church until almost like 8, 9 o'clock on a Sunday, bro. So, and that wasn't just on a Sunday either. Don't get it twisted. Monday was choir rehearsal. No, sorry, prayer night was on Monday night. Tuesday night was Bible study. Wednesday night was tarrying service. Thursday night was choir rehearsal. Friday night was youth service. Saturday we had a barbecue of some sort, and then Sunday we back in church all over again, bro. Yeah, man. So I remember it. But
to us, it was only Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays was catechism. Sundays was church.
I wish. And then you had so my grandmother was considered a mother of the church, and the mothers of the church.
Oh yeah.
The doors open, they are in there.
Oh,
the doors closed, they still might be in there. You feel me? But listen, my grandmother would be like, boy, the church doors open. We in there. We in church. We in the house of the Lord. And honestly, today's life and how things are set up is like, I understood why they did that, and it got us through. And I'm so grateful for my grandmother teaching me the power of prayer, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if anything that I can say, I can just unlearn, the power of prayer is not one of them, because it's got me here. Like the mental states, right? Because that's what really a lot of us, we falter at. And then it trickles down from there. It's the mental state that prayer keeps us in.
Yes.
Like when you seek God and he takes care of your mind, like, the book itself, please, I'm admonishing you out there. Like, don't take no one's word about the Bible no more. Go and learn yourself. They have ways that you can read it now with our language in it, where you can see what the words mean to us. Because for so long, bro, I shied away from the Bible because my brain just didn't do the thys and the thous.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, and I felt stupid because I'm like, wait a minute.
I can't understand shit this shit is saying.
Damn.
Bro, I know exactly what you mean. It got to a point that I even bought a large format book to see if it was because the words were too little. And that's why I wasn't getting it. So I bought a large format to read it in bigger letters. And I'm like, shit, I still can't get it. I still can't get it. What the hell is shit trying to say?
And God can't call me dumb, right? God can't be silly, really trying to purposely make me feel dumb. Is that possible? And I'm like, no.
I ain't mean shit to the Bible, though. It just came out.
Yeah.
God.
Listen.
That was a mistake.
Yeah. It's hard. All right, that's what we say. As long as you know my
I
heart.
speak with emotion. I speak from the heart always.
Purity. We're not filtered around here. So but the power of prayer has gotten me through so many things, and it's built a relationship now. Like, and I like now I understand relationship with my wife now on another level because I have a relationship with God on another level.
Yeah.
Like, where I don't want to disappoint God, I still don't want to disappoint my wife in that space. So the way I don't disappoint either is I seek Him first. And this is what I tell men, like, we're so caught up in what our wives are gonna say, but did you think about what God thinks about that first? Right? Like, and this is, I think, where we go wrong in our leadership with our wives. We give so much appreciation and consideration, as we should, to what they think and feel, but we didn't take it to God first. And majority of the time, if we have taken it to God first, it would have already been smoothed over with them. And they would have understood the leadership factor in a different way because He would have came down and made that clear to them in their way. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm more so now is like, all right, yeah, I'm going to hear you out, but I'm not going to hear you before I hear God.
But when taking it to God, you need to also put into consideration that ego and humility cannot coexist. So you must come to God in humility to be able to understand what it is that He's trying to tell you.
Absolutely.
Because if you go with that, if you go to God with the ego, He's not going to answer. Then you're going to go to your wife with the ego. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get it right back.
Static. You're going to have that static that you do not want.
Get it right back.
That's a fact.
So once again, it's mentioning that ego and humility cannot coexist.
Correct. Especially not when you're going to God.
Especially when you're going to God. Especially when you're going to God. You must humble yourself.
Yeah.
Drop to your knees.
Yeah.
Talk to the Lord.
Right.
Let Him know what it is from the heart that you're feeling and that you're trying to come to.
Yeah.
He might not give you the words. He'll let you know.
You have signs and wonders all over you, won't you?
He'll let you know. You just got to keep your eyes open.
Facts. And that's so important too. Like, we ask for stuff and we pray for things and we don't look for them.
Oh no.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you got to be careful how you ask for it. Because He's literal.
Yeah. And he got a hell of a sense of humor. He got a
hell of a sense of humor.
Yo, bro. Like, but yeah, and so my man told me one time, he was like, yo, don't ask for strength no more. He said, whatever you do, don't ask God for strength no more.
I want to know why.
I said, why, bro? I said, why you feel like that? He said, yo, because God is not going to just give you strength. He's going to give you tests and trials that are going to make you stronger. So it's like, yo, God, I want to be stronger. Like, no. Whoa. You better watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. God, I want to be able to be a stronger man so that I can take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? And He's like, yo, the way you ask for things is with you understanding that, like we said before in the other show, you're going to be the polar opposite before you receive whatever you're asking for. So asking for leadership, you got to be willing to be humble.
Yes.
Right? If you want to be a leader, you got to be following somebody else's leadership.
You need to learn how to follow before you can lead.
Facts. And that's one of the things that I think I've had a hard time learning growing up, because I've never had someone to lead, to say, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do X, Y, Z. You're going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one has ever said, take me by the rein and say, this is what you're going to do.
And it's dope that we're talking about that, right? Because, I don't know about you, but I'm an older brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm oldest.
And when you put that into perspective, you think that just because you are the older brother, well, when you're younger, when you have the immaturity, you think that, oh no, he just needs to do whatever I say, how I say it, right?
Right.
Little do you start understanding that once you get older, sometimes you as the older brother gonna have to be the one to hold the door.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're gonna have to be the one to hold the door so that you can understand how your brother feels.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or how your father feels, or how your sister feels, or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't always think that just because you're the eldest, you're the one who's going to lead. The position of leading is earned, isn't given.
Say that again.
The position.
Word, no, that's
the
serious.
position of leading is earned. It is not given. That is a fact.
People ask me all the time, why do I call myself a king, right? And I speak to men and I call them kings because I'm speaking to the king in them, right? Every last one of us has a king inside of us. But the reason in which now that I call myself a king, because I didn't put my own crown on my head. A king can't crown himself. My wife has put my crown on my head. She's called me her king.
Baby, can I have a crown? I just like she already gave me my son.
I'm about to say,
She already gave me my son.
Do not have her come in and give you one. You know what I'm saying? She like, you ain't got your crown? Where is that?
I just had to make a joke about it. I'm just saying.
Yo, so as a matter of fact, speaking of that, right, I think it's a good time for us to go into it.
Uh-oh.
Am I the only one?
Oh, boy.
Yo, his insides curl up every time I say this.
You don't understand. It turns into a conversation after this.
Yeah, I'm creating conversations in your house.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, listen, and shout out to everybody who's following us because on YouTube.
What you mean? What you mean? You with that too? What you mean? I don't give you none.
Oh, she watched the last one, huh? Oh man, yo. So listen. I know a lot of y'all might be getting in trouble when this segment comes around. So if you're in trouble, just blink twice. You know what I'm saying, and then turn it off real quick. And then if you need help, you know what I'm saying, let us know.
Put on the volume. Use it in your headphones.
Right. All this time we just gave you just now is prop time for you to turn it down. Get your headphones in your head and don't laugh too hard when you hear it because she might know what time it is. But listen, in this week's Am I the Only One? Am I the only one who gets the question at 12 in the afternoon, what do you want for dinner? Watch his face response. And after you get that question, right? You be like, babe, what you want for dinner? You be like, well, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know what he talking about. I ain't say shit, baby. I swear.
Yo, see, my man's trying to make sure he ain't getting no smoking part of this because he know I ain't the only one. So when you answer the question, like, yo, babe, I'm thinking about like maybe like ribs or something tonight. As a matter of fact, yeah, I can do some ribs tonight. Am I the only one that be thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna get some ribs, and all of a sudden, nah, we're gonna have chicken tonight. So why did you ask me in the first place? Am I the only one? Like, am I the only one that literally gets the question asked to you just so your answer could be totally voided? Like, am I the only one? No, like, because I said now when she asks me, I'd be like, I don't know, whatever you want. And then she gets upset.
No, wait. When you say whatever you want, then comes the things that you don't eat. Oh, you want McDonald's?
Word. You know I don't eat that.
You want Chick-fil-A?
You know I ain't gonna say all that.
You want Popeyes?
Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah to that. I ain't gonna hold you. Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. I'm gonna.
You want Burger King? Wendy's?
So now, y'all know I ain't the only one.
It was him. It was him.
He just told herself. I ain't the only one. Yo, listen, write them down in the comments if I'm the only one. Let me know, y'all. Stop playing with me. I know I ain't the only one, especially on that one. Yo, man. But so, bro, what else do you provide to your home, bro? Because I'm about to lay this to rest because, like I said, I stand on when I'm 10 toes down. I am a professional husband. I am a professional father. I take pride in that, and I'm damn good at what I do. So I know a lot of what I provide is a lot more than just these muscles and this money in this pocket. So what else do you provide as a successful father, bro? Like, I say that with pride. Like, before I was saying that little timidly, but now to think over what I've done. Yo, Nick, I'm 8 years in marriage, 16 years in a relationship, 2 kids in. Successful, baby.
I'm going to 20 almost.
Talk to me nice.
So
what can they tell us then? See, I ain't gonna hold you. I might cut you off. Y'all at first he was like, yo, I ain't want to say nothing too crazy. When it comes down to husband and fathership, y'all can't tell us shit because we validated by our ladies. I'm saying
it's a combination of things that for a relationship to be able to hold for as long as we've been holding. First of all, before anything,
Mm-hmm.
it's communication.
Period.
Before anything, it's communication.
First and foremost.
A couple that fights about finances will not last.
Boom.
Ever.
Boom.
So
wait, hold on. Let's stop right there because that's a major one.
oh yeah.
And so let's talk about that. Because in my household, there isn't your money and my money. That doesn't exist in my house.
It shouldn't.
It's the income comes in the home.
If that's the type of life that you want, where it's her money, his money, then don't get married. Because once you get married, you make an abiding contract that you're one.
Correct.
Her bad credit is your bad credit. Your bad credit is her bad credit.
Correct.
You fuck up, she's done. She fucks up, you're done.
Correct.
So if you have a separation in finances, then that right there is already breaking you two apart.
Yeah, let me help you out one time. Quick story time. So when I first got in a relationship with my wife, I used to think that what affected her didn't affect me. So I used to be like, she's had this thing where she's speed through certain areas. And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with you? You don't, like, I told you, there's mad cops around here. All right, whatever, I ain't gonna say nothing. When you get a ticket, you deal with it. When you get a ticket, you deal with it. When you get a ticket, deal with it. Whose money is it? We got to deal with it.
And if you don't pay that ticket and your car gets towed,
who has to deal with it?
Whose car got towed?
Right. So I'm sitting there saying to myself, when the ticket did come, because it did, because I wished it on her, right? Wait till you get that ticket.
Yeah.
I said it multiple
Put it
times.
out in the universe.
Right.
It's gonna come.
Of course. So guess what? When it came, guess what happened? We had to deal with it. She didn't have to deal with it because what happens to her happens to me.
Yep.
And this is something that we had to understand. And if you're in a relationship, yo, and finances are an issue, yo, I admonish you to sit down. First and foremost, get the emotions out of it.
Yes.
Because
yes,
let's get down and understand financial is not emotions.
Humility cannot coexist
At all.
Yo, that's gonna be. I'm gonna put that up right there.
Put it right here across the screen, right here.
It's something. It's something that we carry.
Yeah.
As it's not only husbands, wives also. That ego, that I'm better than you. So it happens. It happens so constantly.
You said the wife's ego.
You better take it easy. Wife got the blicky out there.
That's what I'm saying. You better ego.
No, but it's the reality.
No, seriously.
It's the reality. When a couple speaks to each other with ego abroad.
Yeah.
You will never understand each other.
Nah, you're yelling.
You must come to each other in a humble state so that you can comprehend what the other is saying.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're always going to be at defense.
Yeah.
You're always going to be ready to explode.
Yes.
Ready to defend yourself.
And you can't defend yourself with the person you're supposed to be doing life with.
And you can't you won't even be able to understand what it is that they're saying if you're in a defensive state.
Yes.
Because anything that comes out in any way that you're not understanding, you're gonna take it as a jab.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're gonna snap.
This is why, when it comes down to the finances, right? Let's just say, for there are men out there that I speak to on a daily basis, and I hear this, and it hurts because there are men out there who are in situations where money is not like it used to be. And
the reality is that men are no longer the bread holders in the house. That is the reality.
That is the world. That is the reality for a lot of households.
That is the reality.
And this is why I say our men have to understand our manhood is not attached to our income. Because once your manhood is attached to your income, when that income decreases, does your manhood decrease as well?
Say it again.
Like, when that dollar amount that you bring in decreases, now your manhood and the quality of man you are, that decreases.
And if that's what you're going through in your household, then you're in the wrong place. You're with the wrong person.
And listen to me. Listen, and this, I'm gonna stand on this one. If you are in a relationship with any person, and I'm talking to the men at this point, fellas, if you are in a relationship with a woman that you cannot speak about finance things to, and you cannot speak to them as an adult, bro, reconsider the relationship.
Not fight, not argue about finances. That you cannot speak about finances is what. That you cannot speak.
Have a conversation, a legitimate adult conversation to a point where a resolution comes about, right? Because the majority of times when there's friction about finances, there's a problem.
Yes.
And because there's a problem, right? And because if there's a problem and if there's no resolution, that problem can
stay alive.
And all the time now, it's a residing problem that will always be between you now. It's a barrier. And if you don't address it, you guess what? You have other circumstance situations, especially if you have children, huh?
Yep.
that will come about and compound on top of that.
Now, and now that's going to be transferred to your kids.
Yeah.
Because now you understand that every argument that you have because of finances, now your kids are going to believe that that's what's the norm.
Right.
So you know what? When I get older, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Seriously. And whether we know it or not, so to the point of my friend earlier, when I asked him, why do you feel like you have to be strong for your family all the time? He's like, my father never showed anyone his tears except for my mother.
Mm-hmm.
If he embodied that unconsciously, and the only reason it came conscious because I asked him today, where did that come from? But throughout his whole existence, he believed a man was only strong when he showed his tears to the woman he loves, if he did that, regardless of the people around him. And one thing I've learned is that we as men, if we don't show the people around us that we're other than just strong, they don't respect us. They don't respect the whole version of us. Miles Monroe said this. There's two versions of us. There's Superman and Clark Kent. When we allow people to see Clark Kent, they can respect Superman more. The same thing, because you're not Superman all the time. And you can't be. And no one can expect you to be. But once you allow someone to and be vulnerable enough, because that's what we as men have to do, that's our job. We have to be vulnerable and transparent enough to say, yo, listen, I'm not all right.
And not look at it as a weakness either.
No, not at all.
Not look at it as a weakness, because that's another problem that we have as men. That we feel that because we're showing some sort of vulnerability that now we're weak.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us weak. It actually makes us stronger.
Thank you.
There's a saying, I read it somewhere, that for every tear that you release.
Oh, yes.
There's
10,000, something like that, some wild number of hormones.
That you're letting go of.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That stress.
Yeah, stress hormones.
Disperses with that tear.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable.
No.
Nothing.
Now, let me tell you something right now.
Don't let it be taken advantage of.
But that's what I'm about to tell you. So what our fear is not the vulnerability itself. Our fear is men, as all men, is being taken advantage of.
Now, but if it gets to that, if the person that you're with, you are afraid that she will take advantage of your vulnerability, then you need to reassess yourself.
Absolutely.
And the person that you're with.
Yes.
Because then you're not with the right person.
Correct. And if you're not with the right person, let's say this out there too. I'm not going to sit here and say that stay for the kids. I'm not going to say that, because that statement right there is a fallacy.
Yes.
If you're staying for the kids, you're hurting the kids.
Yes. Much more than you think.
Way more. Because the damage that you're doing is now also conscious but subconscious. Yep. Because every argument they hear, they absorb.
Yep.
Every time they hear you speak negative about the other parent, they absorb that. It is now a toxic situation, not just for the person that you're with, but for the children now. And you're staying for the children, so you're going to stay in toxicity for the children.
Truthfully, you're not staying for the child. You're staying for yourself.
Ooh.
That's the reality. You're not staying for the child. You're staying for yourself. It's because you don't know what it is to be alone.
Ooh, or you're scared
afraid
of it.
To be
right.
alone.
And that, let me tell you,
alone.
On that factor right there, bro, in 2000, what was it? When the pandemic, 2020, I made the most money I made in 3 months because of it.
And if you're afraid to be alone,
men were afraid.
Then you're not praying enough.
Ooh, say that, Jose. If you are scared to be alone, you ain't praying enough.
You're not praying enough.
Facts.
You don't have God in your life as you need.
You're not solid. Facts. You're not grounded. You don't have a center.
No.
And honestly, it's so many of us, and not only just men, but there are women. Because I also have a conversation with a friend of mine recently that he was dealing with a woman, and he had just met, right? He just met her, and everything was going well, and they linked up and all that. And when he linked up, it was cool, and then she went back to her separate space. And when she went, like, she started connecting with other friends, again, old homies. And he's like, I thought we connected. And he came back to me. He's kind of distraught. He's like, yo, bro, why do you think she did that? I said, bro, because she doesn't like being alone. She simply doesn't like being alone. It's something internal. Like, and honestly, if you haven't done the work, if you haven't prayed enough, if you haven't sought the seek the face of the Father, you can't sit with yourself, because the thoughts will eat you up. Those negative thoughts, if you're not, you can't beat them by yourself.
You can't.
You can't beat
cannot.
negativity by yourself.
That is the reason why there's so many big people who are millionaires, with everything in life, and sooner or later,
Did he?
they end up seeking God.
Oh no!
Sooner or later, not Diddy. Sooner or later, they end up seeking God.
Facts.
Having everything.
Yeah.
Sooner
Will
or later,
Smith
they
just said
end
it.
up seeking God. Why? Because the only real thing that can fill that deep space, that deep hollow emptiness in your heart is God.
The only one. And Will Smith just said it the other day, and it's a viral clip going on right now, that he wishes everyone on earth can have all the money in the world that he has to buy everything you need and every you could possibly want, just so you can know that you can't buy happiness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, my sound effects on point.
Yo, when he said that, I was like, and it's an internal job. It's a decision.
Yes.
It's a decision that you have to be okay with yourself and make that decision. I am going to be happy.
Yes.
I am, and it's not something I can put on. It's not something I can dress myself with. It's something I have to have internally.
Yes.
And it's honest to God that when you understand that it's not your own good that makes you good, that you can really embrace the joy of the Lord.
Yep.
Because that's where your strength comes from. Like, the joy of the Lord is my strength. When you understand that, yo, it's not my goodness. It's not RJ's goodness that makes me good. It's the fact that I understand the grace of God. Is I understand I have a relationship with not only just the Creator, but my Father.
Yo, bro, there's such a sense of relief, bro, when I open my eyes in the morning and I say, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Lord, for another day.
Another one.
My day is yours. Please take on. Look at the goosebumps.
Yeah. It's that real, bro. Like, I told my wife after that, she went to wake me up. She kissed me in the morning. She woke me up. She was like, good morning. And I said, good morning. And then she went to go get out of bed, and she said something to me. I was like, wait. She's like, huh? I was like, shh. She's listening. She was like, what am I listening for? And what she didn't realize was, before I put my feet on the floor, it's a habit. I must tell God thank you. My eyes are already opened. I can't put my feet on the floor without telling him thank you. So you ain't gonna have me break my habit right now by talking to you before I give God his. So I put my feet on the floor. She's like, what happened? What I was listening for? I was like, no, it wasn't you could hear. It was nothing you can hear. It was something between me and God. And I understand that the more I reverence our relationship, the more our relationship is dope.
Yeah. And that Good Friday just passed.
Yeah.
Good Friday just passed. And I have a tradition of fasting on Good Friday.
Okay.
Not just meal wise, but I don't speak until noon.
Oh, nice.
So
I want to fast like that every day.
I use that as a moment of reflection.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to understand everything that was sacrificed for us as men, and why we are here as men. And also moments of trying to have a conversation with myself and the Lord.
Yeah.
And that fasting, once 12 hits, it's like, wow. Wow. This was amazing. After that, you don't feel like getting angry. Your whole day is calm. Your voice is calm. You take everything as it is.
Yes. You don't put too much on it. It can't take you too high, and it can't bring you too low.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
When you sit down and take a moment to reflect on life itself and everything that you have, and you don't have. Wow.
It gives you a sense of gratitude that only comes from that. You can't get that sense of gratitude from nowhere else. When you really realize, like, yo, I'm here, right? And let's go before the things that we have, because those can go away tomorrow. Those can go away in a second. Fire break out, everything we had could be gone. But when you understand that with everything that could be taken from you, one thing that cannot be taken from you is your soul, who you are, the essence of who you are, that cannot be taken from you. It's a sense of, I'm going to operate in that more than anything else out externally. Because the more I operate and float with what I have truly, which is who I am internally, once I flow through that, everything from inside flows out. And that's what I've learned more now, that before in life, I was living from the outside in, backwards. I was trying to make sure that everything on the outside was good. I was trying to make sure my body looked good.
But that's part of immaturity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's part of immaturity.
Absolutely.
Everybody goes through it. We all go through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it's the enlightening of, wow, what I truly have makes me rich.
Yeah.
That's what makes me rich.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not about being financially rich.
No, because that could come and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're so rich. When you're so rich.
That could be a t-shirt. Soul rich. I like that. We might have that. We might have that.
So
rich.
Yeah.
rich.
We just might.
Yeah.
When you're so rich,
I like that.
It's different.
Yeah. It hit different.
It's different.
It hit different. And
when you feel that your soul is full.
Abundance. When you learn that abundance is truly your birth. Yeah, I was saying that the other day, and it kind of like gave me a different energy. So I was saying it in my head, and shout out to my girl, Sarah Fontenot. She was on my podcast a couple years ago, and she's phenomenal. She's a motivational speaker, and she does phenomenal work in the community. Yo, her message is your abundance is birthright. And like one morning, I was in the shower and I was just doing my rituals and getting myself ready, and I began to say it over and over again. It just began to ring out in my spirit, and I was just like, "This is true." And how do I know this is true? Because if God is your father, He has everything. And why do you so confident in that? As we said before, when Jose walks in the house, he doesn't look at nothing in this house as if he can't have it. Why? Why does Jose feel like he can have anything in this house? Because it belongs to his father. And if it belongs to his father, it inevitably belongs to him. So if I have the connection to my father who has everything, what am I worried about? How could you be worried when you got a father that got everything? When your abundance is your birthright. Like, you know how powerful that statement is? Like, the abundance is in your birthright, meaning that when you were born, it was a part of you. It's your right from birth. Man, it did something to me that day. Even right now, it's like, you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. And that's what I provide to my family. Confidence. Another thing I provide as a man to my family. I provide that confidence. That Godfidence.
Godfidence.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's where I get it. Because I'm not confident just because I'm RJD. Because what did that really mean? That ain't got nothing.
Yep.
But when I understand who I am and whose I am, then you can't tell me nothing. Like Kanye said, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, my grandfather used to say you're part of two families.
Yeah.
The family that belongs to you and the family you belong to.
Facts. You're royalty, kid. You're a royalty. You are the child of the king. Like, when you start thinking of that, when you realize, like, yo, I'm from the
my
royal.
My compadre used to say that too.
Royal priesthood. I'm from a royal priesthood. Like, and I'm worried. Like, it just don't. It never don't add up.
My mother always said, bro. My mother always said when I was, I hate not having nothing. She's like, you're rich, child.
Yeah.
You're rich. You were born rich. You have a family that loves you.
Talk about it.
You have your parents with you. You have everything you've needed. You're rich.
And you know we get caught up in, we don't see the other side.
You don't understand that until you get older. When you're younger, you're like, nah, but I want this, and I want the J's, and I want Pepe's, and I want that. And then you get older and you're like, I really need that.
And we didn't realize, that what gave us that comfort was the work of somebody else's back.
That is a fact.
We didn't realize that the comfort of life that we knew,
the sacrifices they made, right? Because they would wear Pele shoes and Favor shoes to be able to give us some Jordans.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it was.
Yo,
we didn't have Walmart back in the days.
There was no Walmart.
We used to have Woolworth.
Woolworth. What do you call them? Busy Bees.
Busy Bees. Yup.
Listen, like
Favor, the shoe store. We didn't even have Payless back then.
Alexander's on the Ave. You already knew.
Yep.
So like the struggle of which they made is why we so entitled, right? That's how we felt like, well, why can't I have those J's, or why can't I have that money when I ask for it? But what we didn't realize was our standard of life was someone else's sacrifice.
Yep.
So when our kids now, right, when our kids have that sense of entitlement, it's our duty to show them, you don't understand why you have it like this. Let me show it to you.
The sacrifice behind it. Yes.
And now this is why when my daughter she asks me for certain things. It's times where during the Christmas holiday, she asked me for Christmas gifts. And I gave her most of the things she asked for because that's what we do. But it was one of the things she asked for. She asked for it, and it stuck out to me because she wanted it because her friends had it. Mm. And my grandmother was totally against that. You got to want something because you want it. So when I asked her, I said, you want that because your friends? Well, yeah, man, all my girlfriends have it. I want the same thing. Okay. Do you know how to get that? You know what it takes to get that? Oh, well, yeah, I asked you for it. Now this is a lesson. There's money that comes to pay for that. How do we get money to pay for that? I don't know. Let me show you. Come along with daddy. Because now on my Amazon run, you're going to come do a run with me. If I decide to go out and do some Ubering, you're going to do Uber with me. I'm going to show you how these things come about. Because it's not just where you ask and receive. No. Because now, if you believe that, you won't respect the sacrifice. No. And you'll look at me sideways. And another thing I also do with her as well is that we got to also give them incentives. Because if you want something from me, you have to give something to me. My daughter wants me to take her on a trip. I took her on a trip. I showed her what she wanted to see. We went on a phenomenal vacation. She had fun, the whole works. And before we left, I said, baby girl, you had a phenomenal time, right? She said, yeah, Dad, I can't wait to do it again. I said, but do you know what's going to take for me to do this again for you? When Daddy's in the office working, I'm going to need something from you. I'm going to need you to be quiet. I'm going to need you to allow me to do the work that provides these things for you. So now you see these things. So guess what happens now, bro? I'll be in the office and Joe get to screaming. Be quiet. He's begging. I'll be listening through the door like, that's my girl.
When I was a kid, before we moved to Dominican Republic, my mother used to make bedspreads and curtains. Oh. And when I got into my teenage years, well, at the beginning of being a teenager, because when we left, I was 13, mm-hmm. right? So from around 10, 11, 12, those years, she would have me work with her downstairs, mm-hmm. making bedspreads and curtains. I learned how to sew. I learned how to cut fabric. I learned how to measure. I learned how to grease the machines, the industrial machines. Yeah. I learned how to thread the industrial machines. Because if I wanted J's, if I wanted Huaraches, right, this is what it takes, buddy.
Correct.
This is what it takes. Saturday mornings, I had to wake up early in the morning.
Get out.
Make sure that bathroom is sparkly clean. Because that's your bathroom.
Right.
That bathroom, that white floor, we better be able to eat off it.
Yo, hold on, bro. Let me tell you about the bathroom. let me tell you. I'm
These kids got it easy nowadays because we have conversations.
Kind of triggered right now when you say bathroom. So let me tell you a story about the bathroom. And Sharon, this is your fault. So my mother thing was I had to clean my room, I had to clean the basement because that was basically my area. Clean the bathroom upstairs. Cool. And my mother's thing was, if it's clean, you good. If it's not, you got to come back and finish it. So I knew I had a party in Queens that night. So I cleaned up the basement. I cleaned my room, cleaned the bathroom. To my likings, right here, I think I'm cleaning it right. The bathroom is clean. Now, mind you, my nigga, I live all the way in Long Island.
To your liking. I just wanted to emphasize on that. He said that dumb low to my liking, right. And then he just kept pushing. No, let's emphasize on that.
You ain't
to
supposed
yo
to be out.
like
You ain't
it.
supposed to be out there. You my teenager, bro. You ain't supposed to show my mother out like that. So you know, I get our way out there. Now, me and my man, we drive all the way to Queens. We go to St. John's College that night. We got a college party to go to at St. John's. So you know it's lit. So we riding out there. We
Oh,
get
you
there.
were grown.
Yeah. I'm like 19 or 20 or something like that. So I leave and we just pull up to the party, bro. I mean, the car's parked. We walk up to the door. My phone rings. Hello? Hey, Ma. Where are you? I'm about to walk in the party right now. What's up? Well, no, you're not. Why not? What you about to do is come to this house and finish this bathroom. I said, Ma, I'm in Queens though. You got 30.
I'm laughing because I know the feeling.
Yeah, you know how angry I was, but how mad I knew, but I had to go. Like I'm like, yo, nah, I ain't gonna go.
There's no other option, bro. You crazy? It's called
I
death.
want to live. I want to live. So I'm getting,
It's called death.
And then my man was like, don't worry about it. You can go and you come back. You know, I wasn't gonna come back, bro. Like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back. I got home, cleaned the bathroom, and the energy was just so dead. I went downstairs and went to bed, bro. I missed that party that night. It was tight. So when anybody talks about cleaning the bathroom, and to this day, my wife will tell you, I do not clean the bathroom. Yeah, I will clean the whole house. I will clean the kitchen, the living room, every bathroom. Every bedroom in the house, everything in the house, the ceilings, the walls. I will make the house sparkle, but I will leave that bathroom alone. I am traumatized. I am triggered about a bathroom. Thanks, Ma.
When I was in high school, I went to high school in Dominican Republic. So our last year, graduating year, I feel like being mischievous because, you know, I already spent the past 3-4 years doing what I had to do to make sure. First of all, when we left to DR,
smart man.
When I left to DR, I ain't speak Spanish. Well, I spoke it very little. I ain't write it. I ain't read it. I ain't know how to do any of that. So they had to put me place me in Spanish courses so that I can catch up.
Right.
So I graduated in DR with honors, right? Being an American, I graduated with honors now. Right. So last year, well, actually, I graduated with honors, but I didn't get to walk. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
Why
get there.
Didn't walk?
So
there's a reason.
The last year, we had traveled to the capital, to Santo Domingo, and we went to the store called Bellaco store.
Okay.
What they selling there is like prank stuff. I saw a stink bomb, and I said, "Ooh, I'm buying this." Bet. I take it. I got it in my pocket. I'll go to school. My dumb ass decided to take this shit to school in my pocket. No, not just anywhere in the school. I went to the principal's office and let it loose in the principal's office.
Wow. Yeah.
Bro, the principal came in the room. She said in Spanish, "Everybody in here is rotten." She was, half a tongue. You could basically say because she talked with her lips, and she was cockeyed. So she says, "Everybody in here is rotten." The whole class broke down laughing. So now she's like, "I'm gonna expel the whole classroom."
Oh.
She got on that top of top. I'm gonna expel the whole classroom.
If y'all don't tell me who did it.
Me being that guy. Everybody's mad quiet. Nobody's ratting me out. So I was like, you know what? I can't let nobody else fall for this.
That's right.
So I said it was me. You already know what happened in my house.
Yeah.
I bet.
That work. You got that work.
So now I'm grounded at home. In school, I'm able to graduate. Yeah. But I'm not able to walk. So I'm double grounded at home now. I'm really in trouble. But my mother, because of all the efforts, and that was one time that it happened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She was like, "I'm gonna let you go to prom." Well, over there is the prom. It's basically prom.
Got you.
She tells me, "But you got to be here by 12." All right. Bet.
Tragedy.
Me being me.
Yeah.
I go to prom. Dancing, having fun. I'm not noticing time. I noticed that I'm in the middle of a dance like that, and I see everybody doing a circle.
No.
Little did I know my mother was right behind me, because it was already 2:00 in the morning. So she showed up at the place, grabbed me by my ear, and pulled me out the club. You hear me? So I know exactly what your mother at least called you. Mine would have showed up.
No, so I think our mothers are sisters.
Assistants.
On guard. So shout out to IS 59 in Queens, my junior high school. So I never forget this. So Miss West was my mother's teacher. Imagine having your mother's teacher. And not just your mother's teacher, the teacher your mother was fearful of. My mother's not scared of nothing and nobody, but she was scared of this woman. And I happen to have her now as a teacher. So in this class, I already knew. I heard stories of my mother from her, and then I had her. Like now I'm just like, in Miss West class, you don't show up after the first bell, damn the second bell. You don't show up after the first bell, and you're sitting down working by the second bell. That's how serious she was. And let it not be that way. It's up. So it was all good until Miss West got sick. So I'm like, oh, we got subs.
Okay.
Talking about.
Okay.
I'm him. I'm sub walking there. All right, class, shut up. You not Miss West. We don't care nothing about you, fam. Sit down at the desk. Just get your check. We go wild out this period, all right? But now I'm ringleader. I'm having fun in the classroom. The teacher, like, she sits down and just don't care. I'm at the board acting the fool. Drawing on the board, acting like Miss West, right? Making the whole class laugh. In my class clown mode. Whole time trying to make the girl in the front laugh because Susan was sexy. Shout out to Susan. She was bad.
Hey,
but I'm married now, Susan. Don't holler at me.
You better add that.
What, I wasn't at memory lane. Shorty was bad. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Shorty was bad. So, and the reason I was acting that was literally to impress her. So all of a sudden, bro, like you know how you
Cassie, I had nothing to do with that. Just letting you know.
It's babe, don't start with me. You know I love you, bro. Yo, so I'm at the front of the board, and now you know everybody's the noise is up, right? The room is making mad noise, and I'm drawing on the board, and I'm acting like I'm the teacher, and all of a sudden the volume in the room goes down. And I'm still writing, but I'm like, now it goes from like to no noise. I look behind me, and everybody's sitting there quiet now. So I'm like, oh, ain't nothing wrong. My homie's at the back. So he at the back row, right? In the back row of the room was where the second door is at. He's looking like this. I'm like, what's wrong with this nigga? I go and look. My mother puts her head from behind the door. He's been watching the whole time. Yo, she grabbed me, pulled me from the classroom, and beat me from the front of the classroom to my principal's office. The principal's office was
they are sisters.
Yo, the principal was like, you can't do this here.
What you mean you can't do this here?
She's like, if you stop me, you can get some too.
I'll hit him with you. Play with me.
You know what he did? He opened his office and let her go in there and finish me off in the office. I said, you a sucker for that, Dr. Kithrow. You supposed to at least make her stop beating on me, yo. Yo, she beat me from that hallway down the other hallway into the principal's office.
You don't get in between a black mother beating her child?
Period.
Have you ever tried to protect yourself from a whooping? Doesn't it double up and it becomes you get hit in syllables now?
Yeah.
I told you not to, not.
The worst thing I can
she
ever
gets stuck.
do.
Nah. Stop.
Finish.
Stop.
Finish the sentence.
Finish the sentence, please.
I'm bleeding.
You got whelps across your face.
Yo, you know what we're doing right now? We're laughing about our abuse. We're laughing about our trauma. Yo, and how many times did you see your mother walk up and downstairs and got a breath? She was never in shape. She was always like, you know what I'm saying? Like never in tip-top shape. But when they're whipping your ass, they seem to be like Olympians. You know what I mean? Like, yo.
I've never seen a belt swoosh so fast.
And then, like, yo, I was from the old school in the South where they had switches. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yo,
man.
the whistle of the switch used to hurt.
Shout
The whistle
out,
of it.
for real.
It didn't wrap around your leg and sting you.
Or when they send you to take a shower before they whoop your ass.
Or they send you to bed and wake you up with an ass whipping. Those like that's when
make sure you don't dry yourself when you come out the shower.
That's messed up. Ain't that that's like abuse? Like, yo, I might be calling CPS on you, Sarah, right now. I might be calling CPS on you right now, on the loan. I just thought about all the things I had to go through. Like,
oh, man.
Wait a minute.
And what a great way to end this, huh?
Sending out our mom to prison, right? Sending out mothers to child abuse jail. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
As grown 40 plus year old men, we gonna call CPS on our moms. Yo, but listen, man. We don't run into a topic about something that a lot of us don't understand where we are and what we bring to a table, but fathers, you provide more than just protection and provisions, man. You're a nurturer. I don't know where we get this from, that we don't belong in the kitchen. We don't belong doing the homework with our kids. We don't belong doing the things that we quote unquote say our wives should be doing. But those are the things that build the bonds with our children. Those are the things that build our equity within our family that continues to give us the leadership that we have. Like, our family follows our leadership because we're in the trenches with them. They respect us more because we're in the mud with them. Stand with your family in the mud. Don't just have them operating without you. Don't sit down on the couch while life is lifing in your home. When you come home from work, give them the same energy. Give the energy you give to your job, because at the end of the day, your wife is doing the same. She's doing the same exact thing, man. Don't sit on your behind and allow her to do the homework with the children. Don't sit on your behind and allow her to just sit, cook, and do everything else for the house. Provide that, man. Give that. Give of yourself. And if you don't know how, right? Because I didn't know how, Jose. I'm being transparent and vulnerable. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to be that extra bit of support to my wife. I had to ask her, babe, what is it what does that look like for you? What does me supporting you look like? What do you need from me while you're cooking? What do you need from me when you decide you want to do X, Y, Z, so I can be beneficial to not just you, but the execution of this home?
Amen.
You understand?
Amen. And to add to that, if you want to be able to eat mangoes off of that tree, you need to plant it.
Facts.
You can't expect to eat from that tree if you have not planted it, nurtured it, helped it grow to the point that it needs to. Because just being there isn't enough. That tree will dry. Word up. That undivided attention, that was a metaphor. Now go into reality, that undivided attention that you plant with your children, with your family, in your home, will be the fruits that you'll be able to eat from tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yo, bro, once again, another dope episode. Appreciate you as always. Yo, listen, fathers, as usual, man, like we having a good time what we doing, and we want to hear from y'all as well, man. Please, as always, we didn't say it earlier, but please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this out with somebody else out there. Share with another imperfect father, because at the end of the day, if we make it, you make it. If you make it, we make it. We need you, and we know that you need us. So we as a community, we come together and we bond together, and there's nothing that we can't do, man. So understand that we need you to win, and we need us to win. So together, we win together. To the rest of the people out there in the world, we ain't even caring about y'all. To be honest, we're focused on us. We're focused on being the best versions of ourselves for our families and our communities as a whole. So until next time you see us in these podcast street, man, to your fathers out there, to the world, you're just a dad. That's all you are. But to your family, you are the world. Don't forget that. But until next time we see you in these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's all right. Don't trip. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
Jose, the Imperfect Husband.
And this has been
Keep
another
being imperfect.
Keep being imperfect. Don't stop that. This has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will. Peace, y'all. Another one.
Yes, sir.
My guy.